Apple held their latest keynote where they announced their latest iPhone, the 15, the 15 Plus, 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max, as well as a new series of Apple and Ultra watches. So what you might not have seen is that they also had a keynote presentation on their environmental progress. It was presented in the form of a skit with Apple employees and CEO Tim Cook giving an update to Mother Nature. And I thought it would be interesting to take a detailed look at what they say in this keynote, what they distract from, and what they don't say. Here it is.
Mother Nature, welcome to Apple. How was the weather getting in?
The weather was however I wanted it to be. Let's cut to the chase. In 2020, you promised to bring Apple's entire carbon footprint to zero by 2030.
Is this carbon neutral or net zero? As you can see from our other video on the differences between carbon neutrality and net zero, there's a big difference between the two.
All right. This is my third corporate responsibility gig today, so who wants to disappoint me first?
Well, we've got some updates we're excited to share with you.
Materials, status.
Is there a materials person here?
Yes, we are in the process of eliminating all plastic from our packaging by the end.
Let me guess. 50 years from now when someone else is left holding the bag?
By the end of next year, actually.
Apple has made good progress on this. Apple product packaging has been largely paper-based for the past few years.
When we're also currently using 100% recycled aluminum in the enclosures of all our MacBooks, Apple TVs, Apple Watch.
What about iPod Shuffle?
I think that what about the iPod Shuffle joke was a bit of a distraction. What about all the other materials that go into manufacturing their other products? They only mentioned 3 products, and not their most popular, the iPhone. What about reusable materials in these?
Well,
It's a joke. Don't you people make Ted Lasso?
Oh, that's a different group.
we're also phasing out leather in our iPhone cases.
By when? Presume this means all Apple manufactured cases. There are so many thousands of manufacturers that use environmentally damaging materials in their cases. So what pressure is Apple putting on these phone case manufacturers?
What's next?
Electricity.
Electricity, status.
We're operating on 100% clean electricity.
What runs on 100% clean electricity?
Every Apple office, store, and data center runs on clean electricity, thanks to you and your powerful wind and sun.
This is focused on Apple's Scope 2 emissions. What about manufacturing, which according to their latest sustainability report contributes to 70% of Apple's emissions in the form of indirect Scope 3 emissions?
And Apple offices are already carbon neutral.
Notice they say carbon neutral rather than net zero. And how are they achieving carbon neutrality? How are they using offsets to achieve this?
This building is carbon neutral?
Well, yeah, we do it with a mix of clean energy and eliminating greenhouse emissions. It's kind of like if you were to...
You're seriously explaining carbon neutrality to Mother Nature?
Right, no, I'm sorry.
You want to tell me how photosynthesis works too? Don't.
Also, over 300 suppliers have committed to using 100% clean, renewable electricity.
I wonder what this is as a proportion of all their supply.
What's next?
Transportation.
I'm proud to report that we're shipping more products by ocean rather than air, which reduces transportation emissions by 95%.
95%?
That's international shipping. What about in-country transportation during the manufacturing process? Again, I suspect this is a huge part of Apple's Scope 3 emissions footprint.
Not too bad.
I'm also happy to report that we're investing in projects around the world that protect the Earth's soil, plants, and trees.
Hopefully these will be appropriately verified projects, given the recent controversies over carbon offset verifiers such as Vera.
Everyone says they're planting trees.
We've planted forests.
What about your water usage?
We've reduced it.
By how much?
63 billion gallons.
63 million?
Billion.
What's that as a percentage of total water usage? Apple's supply chain accounts for 99% of its total water footprint. What's this 63 billion gallons a proportion of this?
As you can see, we've innovated and retooled almost every part of our process to reduce our impact on the planet. But there's still a lot more work to do.
And there's something else we wanted to share with you.
You're not trying to bribe Mother Nature with Apple swag.
It's Apple's very first carbon neutral product.
This might be a bit of a red herring. According to Apple themselves, only select case and band combinations of Apple Watch Series 9, Apple Watch Ultra 2, and Apple Watch SE will be carbon neutral.
I want to see you do more of this.
You will.
When?
By 2030, all Apple devices will have a net zero climate impact.
All of them?
All of them.
This is ambitious, and all credit to Apple if they do achieve this across their design, manufacturing, and distribution operations. Apple have a huge amount of suppliers, and many are based in developing countries in Asia, so I think this will be a huge challenge.
They better.
They will.
Okay, good. See you next year.
So there it is. I don't mean to sound too downbeat about Apple's environmental progress, and I've no doubt that they have made some, but this is just a reminder that this is a professionally produced video by Apple, focusing on the stats that they think have the most impact, and in some cases distracting from some unanswered questions behind the statistics that they highlight. And once again, just a reminder to take corporate communications and videos and keynotes like this with a pinch of salt.